Hello, everybody. You know what would help if I brought my microphone over. I got my University of Michigan hat on. Let me cut the music. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Bigfoot Michigan Rob tonight. I hope everybody had a fantastic New Year's Eve, whatever you did. I wish you well. I wish you health for 2024. Let's all have a great year. And before I get started, typically I do not do many impromptu shows. I do maybe 2 a month. So for shows like this, everybody make sure you have your alert bell on so you can catch it. And I was sitting. Well, first of all, also for everybody that I missed over the holidays for Christmas, hope you had a wonderful Christmas if you celebrate. And of course, we're moving into the new year. And as I mentioned earlier, it's not too often where I'll do a show like this. I'll do an impromptu twice a month. And I said, you know what? It's about 2:00 in the morning, and I celebrated New Year's with my mother today. I took her to a steakhouse, and we had a fantastic time together. It was just her and I, nice and intimate, and we, just talked and talked and talked, and had a great time. So hopefully, whatever you did over this holiday weekend, you experienced the pleasure, the love that I did, and I wish everybody love and pleasure for the new year. And I do mean that. And I also want to thank everybody over the last 2 years. I've been doing this for 2 years now. And I appreciate everybody that's subscribed, has followed me, supported me. That means a lot to me. And excuse me for I'll give a couple quick shout outs here in the chat before we get rolling for a little bit here this morning. Sharon Gay, Danny Staten, Two Shadows, Jackie Hall, Mickey G. Hi, Mickey. Mothman, Bristol. Let's see, just scrolling down here a little bit. Julie Buck. Hi, Julie. Aussie Sue. Hi, Aussie. How is it over there in Australia? Scrolling down a little bit further here. Amy. Hello, Amy. How you doing, Amy? Little Ames. I love you, Amy. Let's see. Blue Cruise. How you doing, Blue? That's the bottom. I got maybe 7 people. There's about 18 in chat. And again, I don't expect to have a lot of people in chat. It's 2 in the morning. It's New Year's Day. A lot of you probably went out with friends, family, or maybe you sat home. Which is fine. Typically, you guys, on New Year's Eve, I don't do anything. I really don't. Typically, New Year's Eve, again, I take my mom out. I've been doing that for the last 4 or 5 years. I don't I don't go out. I'm out late at night. I'm not a night owl. In fact, last New Year's Eve, I don't think I made it to midnight. To me, it's the change of the year, and it's a new year moving forward. And it's a new year moving forward to this show, right? A lot of new things in store for everybody listening. And I've got a couple of stories for you here today. And it was really cool today because there's a Dogman in Sault Ste. Marie I'm going to talk about a little later in the show. I don't know how long I'm going to run. But I'll get to that for you guys. But, what I find really rewarding about having a channel and for like 2 years now, good old BMR, what I do a lot of advertising in my community. I put my stickers up at gas stations, 7-Elevens, wherever, I can promote myself to grow my channel. And so today it was kind of, I was kind of humbled today. I was very humble. As I stated, I took my mom out for steak dinner. She loves the Longhorn. I know most of you are familiar with the Longhorn restaurant, right? I think it's a chain, but I tell you what, for a chain steakhouse, I love the Longhorn. Okay, it's not as expensive as going to these family owned steakhouses or some of these big names like Wolfgang Puck or a few of the other ones. So we go there. It's a great time. It's great quality. So I got to tell you, I was the wait because I did not call ahead today, you guys, for my reservation. I said, Ma, we're gonna head up about 4 o'clock. We end up going at 5 o'clock. And so I get there, and as expected on New Year's Eve, there was a long wait. And typically I call ahead, but I was kind of busy today. So I said, well, if I go around 5 o'clock, we should be okay. Well, good old BMR, I was wrong. I was wrong. So it's about, we waited about 40 minutes, everybody, to get seated. Again, I'm in no hurry. I'm not rushing. I'm with my mom. It'd be a great time. So upon getting the time for us to be seated, me and my mom, we mosey up to the bar. There was 2 open seats. Have a cocktail. And then I just had to go to the restroom, whatever. So I get done doing my business, right? And again, I'm telling you the story how it happened, so I have to tell you exactly how this all went down. So as I leave, a gentleman follows me out of the bathroom. I thought, and I felt this presence in back of me, and he goes and he says in down the hallway, leaving the bathroom, this man says to me, "BMR." I'm like, I'm like, BMR, and I stop, I turn around. There's this guy. He's about as old as I am. He goes, I thought that was you. I recognize you without the bandana. Oh, and yes, everybody that's in chat here today. Yeah, don't worry. I'll be wearing my bandanas for my normal shows. Hey, Donnie Show. I'll be wearing the bandanas, but I just threw this on. Michigan plays tomorrow. And I just didn't want to, I just wanted to do something different with this show, supporting my Wolverines. And of course, my Lions lost to the Cowboys. And well, at least we're in the playoffs, and I'm not going to get into all of that. Okay. So anyway, I got my bald head, no bandana. The guy goes, BMR. I stop, I turn around. And he goes, oh my God, Rob, you're Rob. I go, yeah, I am. And you are who? He goes, man, my name is Steve. I've been a subscriber for a couple years, and I love your show. I love what you do, what you got going on there. And I'm like, well, thanks so much. And I'm humbled, you guys. I'm kind of, hey, listen, I'm not a celebrity. I'm humble guy. I do this because I love doing it. But I was really, kind of taken aback, and I had a tickle in my stomach. I'm like, wow, this is awesome. He goes, yes. So do you have a couple minutes? I said, I'm up here with my mom. Hey, Duke. Mary, yeah. Happy New Year, Duke. Hey, Lily, Mickey, I'll get to all you in a minute. Corey Cole, thanks for everybody for coming down in. Didn't expect to have this many people ready. Some impromptu show. But anyway, thanks for coming in, everybody. So Excuse me. So back to the story. He goes, yeah, I've been following you for a couple of years. And again, it's like a 40-minute wait with me and my mother. And he had the same dilemma. He was up with his wife, introduces me to the wife. So we go we mosey up to the bar. It's me, my mom, and Steve and his wife. So there's four of us, and we're four abreast at the bar. And of course, I'm standing up because I know they want to tell a story or tell me a story. Because Rob, I got to tell you something. He goes, I have a place in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and I know where this is going already. Everybody, I know he's got a story. I'm like, hey man, we got 40 minutes. Tell me. He goes, okay. So we sit back, we order a couple of drinks, and he proceeds to tell me this story. He says he goes to the Upper Peninsula in the St. Ignace. Now it's right over. If you go right over the Mackinac Bridge, I believe it's you just turn the first exit. I think you turn right, and then make a quick left. So you go west, you go east and north, and then you're there. And he has property out there. He goes, Rob, I had a Bigfoot encounter about 3 or 4 years ago. And he goes, I've been dying to send you an email, but I never get around to it. I said, well, cool, man. You ran into me. And so he lives maybe 5 miles from me, and he has his cottage in the UP. And I said, well, let's get on with the story, because, we got now 37 minutes before we get seated at our table. So he goes, yeah, last 3 years ago, I was driving my vehicle down the interstate, and it was dusky dawn. And he says, hey, Rob, all of a sudden, and he says it's probably about a mile from where his cottage is. I said, okay. So there was this big hair covered person that kind of loped out from the other side of the road. And the speed limit was no more than 15, 20 miles an hour on this particular roadway. And he says he's seen this big, lumbering, almost like a creature come out right to the edge of the road, kind of stop. Now, Steve, who's telling me the story, says he slows down his vehicle very almost to a stop. And this big being, which he later tells me he believes was a Bigfoot, kind of stopped, looked at him, and then he kind of somberly or gingerly walked across the road like it was nothing. He said it was very gracefully. He got across the road in perhaps 2 seconds. He said 2 long strides. He says, Rob, this was a towering figure. It was dusky dawn, but he knew it was covered in hair, and he's just thinking Bigfoot. And then when it gets to the other side of the road, it just got into the tree line and kind of walked into the tree line, and that was it. And I'm sitting there. The wife was with him. She's kind of shaking her head because I found out she wasn't with him. And I'm with my mom. Now, my mom knows what I do. She knows about my experiences and encounters. My mom is full on board. And I guess the wife was still a little skeptical at this first little encounter. So I asked the guy, I said, well, this is like a mile from your cottage. I mean, did you like further investigate? You saw a Bigfoot. So he says, yeah, I'll tell you what I did. He goes, I'm about a mile away. Hey, Red Creek Mafia. So he goes, yeah, Rob. So about a couple of days later, I call up my buddy who happens to have a place not too far that actually lives there. And he goes, hey, man, I think I saw a Bigfoot crossing the road. Now, everybody knows We've heard the stories about Bigfoot crossing the road. It's probably the most popular or the most spread story that we all hear, right? Bigfoot crossing the road or Bigfoot peeking from behind a tree. But yes, he goes, yeah, I saw Bigfoot cross the road, man. So they get together. He says, we have to go back to this area and check it out. Now, this is like 3 days later. So he takes his friend. I don't know I forgot whatever his friend's name was. They go back to the street where he saw it cross the road, and they get out. They're looking for evidence. They're looking for tracks. Of course, 3 days later, you guys, you're not going to find much unless you're an expert tracker. And they're not even trackers. They're not even hunters. But the guy follows my channel for the last 2 years and just knows and enjoys the subject matter. So they're going through the wood line, going into the woods, and again, not being very familiar with the surrounding area of the woods. They both decide, it might be best let's just turn around and let's see if we'll go in town and we'll ask around about anybody that's familiar with Bigfoot, knows anything about the surroundings here in St. Ignace, right? Now, you guys, it's pretty cool about being in the Upper Peninsula, kind of like the Pacific Northwest, because if you go into a local restaurant or a gas station, the Walmart, whatever, and if you bring up the subject of Bigfoot in the UP, you're not going to get a strange look, because many people in the Upper Peninsula have seen Bigfoot. They believe in Bigfoot. They know about their existence. So it's not like me going into the city and start talking about Bigfoot, right? Where you get that, look like, oh, you're a weirdo. So the UP, it's pretty cool. So they found somebody that said, heck yeah, I'll take you, let's go. Let's go back to where you saw that crossing. And then they get together, meet this guy, very nice guy. People up north are really cool, very nice, very friendly. And he says, now look, if I take you on this little journey, we're not just going to do a 3 or 4 hour hike. Would you guys like to go out into the woods and camp out there and just spend some time out there? So Steve is telling me at the Longhorn, yeah, absolutely, yeah, I'll do it. So he had time off work, and he gets into, hey Jessica, and he decides, yeah, you know what, we'll do that. We'll spend some time. So they planned on about 3 days in the woods. Again, now it's Steve, his buddy, and this man they met, they befriended to take them to this area. They get to the spot. They go a few miles up where they can find a roadway into the woods where they can park the car, and they hike in. So you guys, he's telling me it's within 1 to 3 miles of where the Bigfoot was found crossing the road. So they get in there. They set up their camp. They find a nice area where there's a nice little meadow where they could set up their tent, whatever else they brought along with them, and got that set up. And then they went about scouting the area. So they said on the first day, they were just getting familiar with the surroundings and doing some hiking. And he said Rob was kind of cool because there wasn't really any real trails in here. I mean, it was tough to walk through. So you had to hack down some of the growth around there, the brush, but it wasn't like so thick where it was a liability or where you had to work really hard. So it was relatively easy. So I'm like, well, that's cool. So we're talking at the Longhorn, and I'm looking at my phone because now it's like after all this speaking, it's like 17 minutes, and I'm going to get the text that my table's ready. And the guy was a little bit long-winded. I've cut out a lot of what he was telling me. I said, bro, we got like 17 minutes left. Okay. So he speeds it up a little bit for me. So he says, yeah, day one, nothing. But day two, they came across some prints. He says, yeah, Rob, they were oversized human-looking feet. They took a measurement, and it was like two of them, two tracks. And they were straight. They were north and south of each other. North and south of each other, not spread out how we all walk. And he goes, there was about a 3.5 to 4 foot gate. And he says, I could see three legitimate toes, a deep impression of a heel. He's getting excited. And the man that they met in the St. Ignace said, yep, this is a Bigfoot track, you guys. Congratulations. So you did see a Bigfoot crossing the road for sure. I don't doubt you at all. So Steve is telling me he's all excited and he can't wait, for this trip to be done just to tell his wife. And he thinks that that's the only thing that he is going to experience. He's seen these tracks. Wow. So he thinks, thank you. And this tracker that they found again back in town says, hey, man, we got 2 more days. We got a day and a half left. We're going to stay out here now. We're going to really get into this. And of course, Steve was telling me he's excited. Yeah, let's do this. So I guess it's the next morning. So that night, they're sitting around the campfire, and all of a sudden, and Steve was telling me at the restaurant today, he heard the whoop, 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 whatever. And okay. Listen, this is kind of funny, you guys. We're sitting at the bar, and this guy's at the bar, New Year's Eve. We're waiting for our table, and he starts whooping at the bar. And it wasn't like whoop, whoop, quietly. He was like whoop, loud, where people at the bar are looking down at him like he's some basket case. And I put my head down and said, okay, dude, man. But he was excited, everybody. He heard these whoops, right? And so and I'm like, okay, just go on, man. I said, keep talking, disregard the people. So the barmaid comes up. What's going on over here? Do I have to cut this guy off? He said, no, he's telling me a story. Just, so we're all laughing. It was nice. It was nothing. It was all friendly. So they hear the whoops and so they all get back. They're telling their campfire tales. It's getting later in the morning. And then they decide they go back, they go into their tents, they go to bed. And then, the moon was flying high. And he says, Rob, then we hear at night the rustling about something walking out around our campsite. And it was like kind of heavy footfall. I knew it was, it wasn't a 4-legged animal. It was like a bipedal walking. And he says, Rob, in the back of my tent, there was something caught with the glowing of the moon. We're reflecting this tent. He saw this figure, a shadowy figure that extended well above the tent, and and he saw, man, it was a human looking person, but extremely tall, extremely tall. And then and that was it. It kind of drifted away. Didn't hear. He heard it kind of walking back into the tree line. So, and that's his story from today. And I tell you what, he got it out in 40 minutes. I edited a lot of it, you guys, because he was like going on and on about things. But the moral to this story that I heard today was this. I was humbled that the guy recognized me. Thanks to Shadows. I was very humbled that some guy recognized me from my show. They watched my show, yells BMR. And BMR don't normally wear a bandana in a restaurant. It was me with my bald head, right? And then he says, "Yeah, I'm from the upper. I have a cottage in the Upper Peninsula." Told me the story. He's a subscriber, so I'm like, awesome. And that was kind of that. So I got his phone number, and I look forward to going out and meeting him again in the Upper Peninsula, and we'll do some investigations. So I thought that was a pretty cool story to share with y'all about. Hey, you never know. You never know who you're going to come across. Um, I got a kick out of it that a subscriber saw me at my local Longhorn restaurant. So I did want to share that, to start the show off. I'm not really reading chat. So hello, Henry. Hello, Felicia. Red Creek. Hey, Mike. How you doing? Thank you for Two Shadows for becoming a new member. Aussie Sue. Again, Jackie. There's like 35 of you. Donnie Cho, my man. Donnie Cho says stuff. Go check out my buddy Johnny. And of course, the lovely Amy, a Michigander herself. So, yeah, so that was cool. That was my story today with my mom, taking her out. And I met a couple, a dude and his wife, and we talked Bigfoot only because I was recognized. So I got to, I'm tipping my hat on that one. I like that one. Hey, Mickey G. So, as a lot of you know, I'm going to get into this Bigfoot story, okay? And actually, not a Bigfoot. I might do that. I'm going to do this Dogman story. As you know, that on my live shows, I don't talk about the videos that I drop because I get a lot of subscriber videos or subscriber encounters that I turn into a video, and I do those. And so I was looking at the analytics. Again, I'm looking to do something different for 2024. And when you look at the analytics, 75 I get when you have a video and a live show, 75% of my people or you guys or whoever else is out there, they watch the live stream, but they don't watch the videos. It's only like 28% watch the video. But you guys that come on live don't really watch the video, according to analytics. So I said, well, there was a really cool story I did, and about a dog man in the Sault Ste. Marie. I put it out last month, and again, it doesn't capture the live audience. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this story because it's quite fascinating, and it got me to thinking. And so I'm gonna give it to you guys. Now I'm not gonna, being that I'm gonna do is to make sure that I've got everything. I'm gonna kind of read it, okay, a little bit, and you guys give me your thoughts. I'll give you my thoughts, but I can read. I'm pretty entertaining when I read anyway, and so I'm not too worried about that. I'm sure it won't bore you, but this is a pretty cool story. If some of you that've seen the video, that's cool. But it's been about 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks since I put this out, and this is about a Lake Superior dogman. Okay, and I'm going to read it as the emailer sent it into me, and he goes on and said, "Well, it's actually a young lady. In fact, Duke likes this one. He likes the thumbnail I put out on this one." Okay, Rob, as I send you this experience of dogman hunting or this dogman haunting our tribal village for decades. So they start out by saying a dog man's been haunting them, okay, for decades. She goes, it's a woman again, as I said. I first have to say that if any of the tribal commune knew of my passing this along for publication, it would deem me as an outcast. Okay. I am from the Sacoagan Chippewa community of the St. Croix Chippewa Indians in Wisconsin. Reside off the shores of Lake Superior. I already may have given you too much information I fear. However, this needs to be told and will be emphatically denied by any of our tribe. I am a female, and I refer to myself as Little Small Fox, not my true given Chippewa name, but it'll have to do so for this story. The story has been passed down by my elders for generations and is something that has been kept close to the vest. In our peaceful village of Oregon, where tranquility was as common as the cool breeze that brushed against the quaint roads and shorelines, an unsettling presence began to cast a shadow over the community. Rumors spread like wildfire about a mysterious creature lurking in the depths of the forest rushing off of Lake Superior. A creature unlike anything that we had ever encountered before. I must also state that even our spiritual protector, more commonly known as Sasquatch, could even stand up to remove this evil from our lands. They called it the Dogman. Well, actually, Rob, we had a different name for this entity of which I shall not provide for this encounter. It was a tall, imposing figure with the body of a man and the head of a fearsome wolf like canine creature. Disbelief initially filled the hearts of our First Nations people, who heard these tales dismissing them as mere myth. After all, we were protected by Sasquatch and all of the spirits of the woodlands. But as nightfall descended upon Sacagawea, eerie howls echoed through the darkness, sending shivers down our village spines. The town the town soon found itself under attack by this enigmatic being. Livestock went missing under mysterious circumstances. Then eventually, our children mysteriously came up missing, never to be found. No clues nor reasoning. They simply started to vanish. Even some of our brave warriors claimed to have come face to face with the Dogman. Fear gripped the hearts of the village as they barricaded their homes and whispered stories of encounters around flickering candlelight. The elders gathered together over the decades as to how to protect themselves from this inherent evil that spread doom in the hearts of the tribe and also our children, for fear that many more children soon will come up missing. Amidst this chaos, one of our elders, I will call Chief Sam, and yeah, I'm just saying Sam, Rob, an eccentric elder, had decided the time was now to put together a tribal team to go hunt or at the very least cast this entity from our sacred land. As Chief Sam and the as Chief Sam assembled his warriors, they went to provide a deeper look into the Sagoans' history prior to going out on this hunt. I guess they're now investigating more of the history. Everybody, legend spoke of ancient curses that had befallen upon the town centuries ago, or the village centuries ago, transforming only family members into shape shifting creatures as punishment for their dark deeds. So I guess within this tribal community for decades upon decades, I guess that this was a village or tribal commune that had a lot of bad people, I guess, going on. Okay. Through unexpected alliances, heart pounding encounters, and moments of profound self discovery, Chief Sam and his team confronted their deepest fears head on. They came to a realization that the dogman is not simply a monster to be feared, but a reflection of their own inner demons. So, again, what I was just talking about in this section of this tribe, certainly I don't think it's the entire tribe, but I'm thinking in this commune, I think a lot of things went down here. Okay. It was found that many decades prior to the current day, this peaceful land was not so peaceful. Pillaging, murder, and other atrocities were committed, leaving the so called curse to be bestowed upon the village. Rob, is a daily battle against these demons. We have our own children hidden and protected. We have an eagle eye on them. We have managed to keep the children safe. However, we still live in fear, and our battle against evil still roams today. The howls still are prevalent, the sightings are scarce, but the energy still invades our inner souls. Thank you, little small fox. So I did that story on in video form about 7 weeks ago, and I've got to tell you that just listening to that, and I will tell you this: me personally, coming across somebody of the First Nations, American Indians, however you want to whatever verbiage you want to use, I believe a lot of what they say. Now, of course, there are even First Nations that perhaps will take advantage of the white man trusting them, right? But I think there's far few and in between. These folks I trust, because we hear about all the stories, right? And it comes from them because they were here many, many centuries ago and combated all of these things, mostly starting, I guess, with Sasquatch. But what I got out of that story was this dogman entity appeared because there was evil and wrongdoings in there. And I think that precipitated this entity into their lives. It's kind of like their intentions were evil. And again, I'm not going to say Dogman is evil, everybody. I'm not going to say he's good, right? So I think a lot of people, I think this might have been manifested, right, amongst them. And what I find fascinating is Lake Superior. Again, it encompasses Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota. I mean, it's just the biggest lake, Great Lake that we have, and there's many, many First Nations people that live there. And I got to tell you something. I hang on to a lot of stories that I've gotten or that I just read and do my own research on because I think there's a lot of truth in what they say. And I know that Lake Superior, whether it's out of Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan, and the other surrounding states, there's all sorts of weird happenings that go there, that happen there and take place. And I tell you what, for small Fox to send that email to me and say that, look, I could get I could get this disbanded or outcast if this got out to her elders. I give her a lot of credit, a lot of strength, a lot of courage. To me, it's weird because I don't think that goes on today, everybody, But again, it's not what I do, it's not my culture. Are there those cultures that are still like that today, I wonder? Is that why a lot of people, especially from our First Nations people, is that why they don't speak and come forward a lot of times just because of that? Or because they want these secrets held. They want to keep it close to the vest. I don't know. That's why I find all this fascinating. Excuse me. And I love getting all these stories from the variety of people. If you have an encounter that you'd like to share with me, of course, it is beyond bmr@gmail.com. I love them. I read them. Do I make a video or talk about all of them? Nope, I don't. Okay. However, whatever you send in, I won't mock or judge. I have so many that it's tough to filter through. And I like to put out the ones that I think you guys will like. And I hope you like that one. It is in video form. Again, everybody, hi. For everybody I miss, Light Walkers, You Look New, Candy Wolf, Aussie Sue, Mickey G, Duke, of course, World Bigfoot Radio. Everybody's come on in tonight. Just take a little time to spend this little New Year's Day with me. I didn't plan on doing this. Hey, Moon at Noon. Wendy, hey Wendy, Tom Price, everybody that's in here. Davey Crotch Kick. Again, there's like 38 of you in here, so thanks for coming on in this time of hour. I just wanted to tell everybody thank you, for subscribing to my channel. I appreciate it. I put a lot of work into it, a lot of time into it. And what I love most about everybody here in chat and everybody listening later and they come on the shows, you guys are awesome. You guys are great in chat. You leave great comments. You always give the thumbs up. And it makes you guys are why I'm doing this now because I really like it. And I think you guys do too. Otherwise I wouldn't have the audience I got at, 2:45 in the morning. So again, I do these impromptus probably 2 times a month. I've got a lot going on. And Duke, hey cool hand. Duke, I gotta call you, man. You're probably gonna end up with 2 of my books because I resent. It's a story. I'll call you maybe tomorrow or the next day, man. But I seen you. I haven't had time to call you. But yes, so thanks. Speaking of my book, thanks to everybody who bought my book, Bigfoot Mr. Rob Presents True Cryptid Encounters. Of course, on Amazon. Thank you for subscribing. I love and appreciate all of you. And I don't know what time it is. It's actually I did just it's 2:45. I don't know how I've been on here. I've got a guest coming on in 2 months. I tell you what, you guys, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but I've got a guy coming on in 2 months that claims to be a skinwalker. Now, and I'm not giving you guys a line of BS. I'm trying to get this guy on. He says in 2 months. He inundates me with all these things that he has done. And yes, the biggest one of all is he says he's a skinwalker. You know what my question is going to be if I get this guy on? Can you turn into one live? Right? I got to give you a little excerpt because so this is kind of this is going to be on a live show. Okay. And I got to tell you, since I got you guys out, still 40 of you in here, I got to tell you, I'm going to read a little bit of what this guy sent to me. I got my phone here because I know I got you baited. I got you guys on the hook. So it'd be unfair for me to just leave it at that. So I'm going to give you a little this guy's words, everybody. What he sent to me. I just gotta find it. Scroll. I got my phone. It's got. Let's see. Let's see. Just bear with me. I gotta find this. Okay, here we go. Of course, it'd be if I went the right way. Okay, here we go. Sorry, everybody. Okay, everybody. This guy's going to be on the show, okay? This guy's going to be on the show. This is what he sent me. I did a video on skinwalkers about 2 months ago. This guy saw it. And he responds to me in email. And I'm not going to do the whole thing, so I'm not going to blow up. I'm not going to give away all what this show is going to be about. But he says, Rob, referring to this video, he says to me, Rob, this probably was a skinwalker. And he goes on to say, I mean, everybody, here's what he says. I'm reading verbatim what he sent me. It probably was a skinwalker. Again, after that video. I mean, I am a skinwalker. It's what this guy's writing me. Now, of course, everybody, is he full of shit? Or is this guy real? I don't know. I mean, I'm a real skinwalker, but I don't have a snout. I just look like a normal human person. But there are different skinwalkers other than me. Not all are bad, but never trust one to be honest about his intentions. I just like changing and running free in the woods. Okay. Wow. Sorry. Wow. Sorry. I'm laughing on that. I apologize for that, everybody. This guy's telling me he's a skinwalker. He changes. He loves running free about the woods. I'm trying to get this guy on. Okay. Again, I might not even have him on because I don't want to do discredit to me. Because what I present to you guys, to the best of my knowledge, is always legitimate. And as I'm reading through this, I had to question my integrity, not just to put it out, just to put it out because it's entertaining, right? So I still have to do a lot of work with this. And he goes on to say that not all kill people, some do. They have different. Well, let me just try to find some. Let's try to paraphrase this guy. He says skinwalkers' bodies are in constant decay, which is why they kill people to rejuvenate their skin. They do that to take on their life force or energy or spirit. One way to know a bad skinwalker is that it won't be seen or heard in the daytime. That's why you only see their eyes at night or the cover of darkness. Don't let them scare you. They aren't as strong as they are made out to be. The bad ones, that is, which is why they attack kids and smaller human people. Sure, there are stronger ones, but those are bad ones. And bad ones have killed people, hundreds of people. I've never killed anybody. They've lived for hundreds, perhaps thousands of years. But again, Rob, I'm a good one. But there are very few good ones like myself. I'm going to end it there. He's got a multitude of things he sent me. So I'm going to ask you guys, leave me a comment, okay? Here's the thing. I'm intrigued by this. Do I believe it? As of right now, I do not. I do not. I'm hoping to talk to this guy several more times before I decide whether or not to have him on a show. And if this guy claims to be a skinwalker and claims to be able to change into an animal, he says he changes into a bear all the time. That's his favorite animal in which to change into. Well, I'm going to tell you what. I don't want to look bad. Okay. I'm not a guy that's looking for ratings or views. I find it intriguing, and I don't want to make myself look like just some jack off just because I had some guy on because he has a strange story. Later on tomorrow, tonight, leave a comment. If do you want me to bring this guy on? If he even agrees to come on, because I have integrity. Right now, I'm 50-50 on this guy. And there's a lot more to read. I'm not going to bore you and read all of it. I mean, it's not boring, right? But let me know what you think. let me know what you think about that one. Because I tell you what, there's a lot more to read. I'm not going to read it to you guys. It's very my eyes, my mind is really revolving on this. But again, thank you. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, man. I appreciate everybody for coming on in. Happy New Year to everybody. Thanks for everybody for coming on in. You know, um, again, I had that. I talked to a guy right at the restaurant today. Talked Bigfoot, recognized me, told me the story that I shared. Talked about the Lake Superior Dogman, and I do this for you guys. I love doing this. I like doing it for myself as well. But it's late. I've been up a long time today. Thank you to everybody. Subscribe to Bigfoot Mystery Rob on YouTube because without you, I wouldn't be doing this. Like, share, subscribe. I've got 15 guests solidly booked for all of January into the beginning of February. A lot of pretty cool guests. One of my cool guests I'll be having on, I think June 14th, Doug Hijack from Monster Quest will be on. There's a few other cool ones you're all familiar with, so I'm really looking forward to it. Well, Duke, weak and lame. It's 3 o'clock here and it's midnight where you're at. I get it. My good buddy, Duke Sullivan, World Bigfoot Radio. Or is it World Central Radio now? I don't know. Duke's tinkering with his name. It's midnight where he lives. It's 3 in the morning where I live. I love each and every single one of you guys. I hope you like the show. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down. Let's help the analytics. And until next time, until I find the appropriate segue to exit, I am Bigfoot Michigan Rob. Thank you for coming on in. And I will be live on Tuesday night at 9 with a great guest. And look for the thumbnail. Then you can come on in and join me. Thank you. I want everybody to have a great new year, healthy, prosperous, whatever it is, whatever your intentions are. I wish that for you. Thank you so much. And I'll see you next Tuesday night, 9 o'clock.